Welcome to the RS2G podcast, where I motivate, inspire listeners by discussing failures, success, and the journey of a rebirth. If you are someone who wants to hear the honest truth from a host that puts his right hand to God, as I interview people who have built empires and sometimes watched them crumble as their lives have taken an unexpected twists and turns, this podcast is for you. Life is not always easy. And as a combat military veteran, active military for 14 years, I know about sacrifice and facing fears and true loyalty. I can't wait to take you on this rebirth journey with myself and my guests as we discuss life and living with your right hand to God. Boom.
It's a capsule.
Welcome to the RS2G podcast, where we inspire and motivate. And we got one of our, just superheroes in here tonight. We here late night filming. We got Xavier. What's up, man? How you been, bro?
Hey, what's going on?
I can't stand behind this mic and not shake your hand. What's going down, man?
Hey, man, everything, man.
How you
Thank
been?
God, man. Good.
Good.
Can't complain. Too blessed to be stressed.
Man, definitely, man. I like that, and we are, because, we come from humble beginnings. We come from a lot. We got a lot of similar stories, and, I wanted to bring you on and, and highlight you, but I wanted to take some time with that, because at the end of the day, like, you got a lot going on. You got a lot going on, but you're doing a lot of inspiring too. Can you tell the world who you are?
Yeah, for sure. Xavier Morero, aka X. It's a
Okay.
lot easier to remember, right? But yeah, man, I'm very focused on financial literacy,
Right.
Teaching our community, especially Black and brown communities, how to basically leverage
Right.
their credit. How to open so many doors that have been closed in our faces. And basically just educate them on the game that has kind of been hidden from us.
Right.
And then just kind of take it from there, man. So
Right.
I help people restore their credit, build their credit. I help them get business funding. I help them structure their actual business plan and start creating residual incomes for those individuals.
How long you been doing that for?
Man, so it's crazy. I've been doing it now for 7 years. Is when I started my journey, which started with financial literacy and more credit restoration.
Okay.
And then we actually created a team of over 10,000 agents under us nationwide.
Wow.
So I see the big impact that it had, not only on myself, because I was a product of the product, right? But I seen how many people went under my mentorship and made the same thing happen for them, but then also took the time to educate their communities. And
Wow.
before we knew it, we created a whole army
Look at you.
of over 10,000 people
Wow.
nationwide, just constantly going around sharing this knowledge.
Wow. I saw you too. I saw you moving and grooving and shaking. I remember when I was going through my hard time and my bankruptcy, you got my credit straight. I gave it a runaround for a little bit, but eventually we came to a mutual understanding, and you got my credit straight, and I was able to purchase a home.
Yeah.
With your situation. So that's big. Can you tell people like how big that is for the community, what you're doing and how you helping them? Because we think that when we lose our credit or something bad happens, we can't do anything.
Yeah,
So
man.
can you explain about that?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So like how you said, a lot of people, it's like this myth, right?
Yeah.
Like, man, once you jacked up your credit, you're done for the next
7 years. Yeah.
or sometimes even 10 years,
Yeah.
right? If there's that certain bankruptcy. But the crazy thing is that, just like I showed you, first I had to tell you, hey, there's so many rights that you have as a consumer, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971, under the HIPAA law, that really protects you. And we can get those negative items removed way before the 7 years.
Right.
And obviously, like how you say, we kind of went back and forth, which the average customer, honestly, doesn't pull the trigger the first time. And it's not, they don't say no because they don't want to. It's because they don't know enough.
Right.
Right. And it's also that fear. We're in an industry where a lot of people do get scammed. So I always tell people, hey, be very careful. Do your research. Make sure that person has a track record or that company. And then, yes, allow that person, that professional, to leverage your rights to get these negative items removed that 99% of the time you don't even have to pay for.
Right.
And let's clear that report up and then put you in a position to buy that home. So like how you said, even a bankruptcy could be removed, and we was able to accomplish that for you,
Right.
which then the consumer, the client, turns around and accomplish their goal,
Right.
which yours was to purchase a home.
Right,
So congratulations on that
Definitely,
too, man.
That was really big for me, because I told you didn't know. And that was what I was working on, and that's what I was praying for. And God was having me go through a lot of situations because of that. And then once you got my credit right, and I just recently closed my home March 15th.
Congratulations.
So you started last year on my credit,
Yes.
working on that, and we're getting ready for a second round in August.
Yes.
So I'm a believer of how you do it. And then when I saw your introduction and your class that you gave at Shake the Room conference,
Yes.
it was not only educational, it was inspiring, because a lot of our community needs to hear what you have. And that's really big. And that's why we're doing part 2 in August. And that's why you're coming back, because I believe that you have a niche in this community that needs to be told, and how to help, because we're victims to that, especially minorities.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. And like how you said, first of all, thank you for creating this platform.
Yeah.
Because this information needs to be shared, right? Thank you for that event. If you guys missed out on an event, you guys better make the next one. August 24th, right?
Yes, August 24th.
August 24th. So be on the lookout for that, because I have been on so many different stages. I have talked to so many different crowds, from the ghettos to, your big corporations with the CEOs and the roundtable meetings. But when this event came up, I looked at it as another regular event. Hey, let's go do what we do.
Yeah.
Let's go impact the lives that we always want to impact. But man, during the event and after the event, I was like, God, this event was completely different than any other event, because we did take the time to share the knowledge. You had some great speakers up there. We shared a lot of value and wisdom, but man, the feeling, the impact, how we motivated individuals, inspired them there. Bro, like, people got up, and you seen it, you was there, like, was getting up, crying, asking us questions. And it turned around and got us emotional, because it made us go back to those dark days. Right. And I think that was way more important and way more valuable than the information that we share as professionals in our industry.
Exactly. It was real life. And that was the purpose of Shake the Room. We wanted to get up out your seat, get some real life emotions, and understand that you got people in here that can fix your credit. You got licensed therapists, you got motivators, you had Matt in there, you had Quattrail, you had people in there that was, if that didn't get you, this would get you. And if this would get you, that's going to get you again. And that's why I wanted to provide that element. And you did such an excellent job. So many people was coming back asking me for your information and your Instagram. And that's how it's supposed to be. Because if you could get one lead out of this or one inspiration, we're good.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Just to give you up to date, we just did that Saturday.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're only about 5 days from that event that we did. I have already gained about 3 customers.
Look at that.
Right? And a lot more that are potential, but it wasn't even about the business that we're gaining. You know what I mean? It's just the life that we're changing.
Right.
Because the 3 that have reached out to me, a good percentage was speakers.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So then they're like, hey, Xavier, hold on. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Or, hey, Xavier, I didn't know I can leverage this credit this way. Or, hey, Xavier, I need to scale my business, or I need extra funds. And they're coming up to me. And it was crazy, because I'm like, man, the crowd normally comes up to me first. Then maybe a speaker or 2 comes behind me and taps me on the shoulder, hey, I need your help.
Yeah.
But it was almost vice versa.
Right.
But again, the great thing about it is that the people are seeing what's available to them.
Right.
They're understanding the position they could put themselves in. And, to tie everything in, it was big for that event, because so many people come from the same background that you and myself come from.
Right.
And we're always told that we don't have those same opportunities, and we've been lied to.
Right.
Right. And then also, we're also kind of, well, for me, I'm speaking about my experience. I was motivated by some of those things that I've seen in my environment. Right. Yeah. But I was more motivated because of the cars, the jewelry, the drip, the ladies, but when I got older in life, I've been through so much, and we'll talk about that through this podcast. But I realized that you can get all that without being a product of the product in the
Right.
streets.
Exactly.
Well, you could be a product of the product in any other arena,
Right.
and then show, hey guys, we can still live this lifestyle.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean? I could show you the lifestyle that you're looking for in that demographic, but I could show you how we getting it over here.
Right.
Faster, easier, and we don't have to wash our backs.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what, to me, that's what was real big about that Shake the Room event, that people got to really know us.
Right.
A lot of people look at us, see our success, they think life is pretty.
Right.
Like even today, you know what I mean? Life is not pretty for us.
No, it's not at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think people really need to realize that and know that, because when they start taking the steps that we take, a lot of them give up just because they assume it's sweet when it's not.
Yeah.
So when you give them the rawness from the beginning,
There it is.
the correct expectations are given.
Right.
And they already know what they need to do on their end, and if they're built for it.
I remember telling you when we first became friends that I had a vision of the same situation, and you was like, just call me when you're ready. And 2 years later, we here, and the vision is always keep going, because when I was on stage, I saw hundreds of people in the crowd, and that's how it's gonna be. We're gonna have to be able to I'm gonna always keep it at crossover, always, but at least one of them move it to like a bigger auditorium, because that's how much people we're gonna be touching.
I agree.
Because I saw when I was on, I was like, because I like to do my thing, but I saw all the speakers and I saw how it was going, and my team was so professional. I'm like, oh no, this needs to be worldwide.
100%.
Yeah.
And like how you stated, so I give you a lot of props, and I'm very proud of you, because the way we met had to be from God.
Right there.
Like, there's no way we can be like, nah, bro, this is just one of those moments. Like, no, that was from God, because at that moment, you needed someone, but a lot of people didn't know that I needed someone.
Right.
Right. And the way God connected us was crazy through the gym. Right.
Yeah.
And you was at the lowest of your lowest.
Yeah.
Right. But a lot of people didn't know, including yourself. I was also heading that way myself.
Right.
Right. I was losing a lot.
Yeah.
But when we met, we connected. Energy and vibe.
Everything.
It was just like, yo, real recognizes real.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you coming to that event, which I'm glad you did, you stated that day, and I remember this, like, X, I will do this and I will accomplish it.
Yes.
And I know for a fact that day I believed in you, and I told you just how you said it. Yo, when you get this done, I'm riding with you.
Yes.
And I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but when you told me that date for April 27th,
Yeah.
bro, I had another gig lined up in Atlanta, Georgia.
You told me,
Everything paid for.
Yeah.
Right? And I had to look and talk to my wife, and I'm like, I have to cancel the Atlanta trip.
Right.
Like, I don't care who's paying for what or who's going to be there. This is more important to me.
Right.
And I didn't know why.
Right.
I really didn't know why, because, again, it wasn't that I was searching for business.
Right.
And when I got there and it happened, I said, this is exactly what JR told me 2 years ago.
There we go.
And here we are living it out, and the impact that it caused. And you said, X, do we shut this down or we keep it going? I said, bro, we keep this going. But when you asked me that, I know you already knew the answer.
Yeah, I already knew. No, because it's like, I pick my team of Avengers that I look up to, or that I want to hear, or I think the world should hear. And I think that it was a perfect panel for people to understand. And so that was six. Now it's 8 speakers this time. And it's going to be more informative in the daytime, and then afternoon, we're going to shake more rooms. But we're going to keep this going, because this is what God gave me, a vision and a plan, and I have to act on it now. Right. Because, if we don't act on it, we'll fall victim to what everybody else, oh, I should have, or I could have, or I remember when no, do it now. Do it now. And you do it so hard when the people that you thought was riding with you, they turn into haters. When I done this and it was completed, I lost a lot of good people, because they wasn't supposed to be aligned with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is what God wanted me to do, to give back to the community and link up with you about the 501c, so we can get that situation done for the community. Because when I was up there, all I saw was the need for the community to hear everything we were saying.
Right.
that people don't tell in rooms like that.
Right.
This is a hidden situation. We don't really want to talk about mental health or credit or motivation or dreams because, it sounds too fiction. But now that we brought it to life and said, no, not only is he talking about credit, he helped me.
Right.
I was going through a bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? And you helped me purchase my home. That was only God and you aligning us together and me listening.
Right.
Right? Because people get told a lot of things, but they don't listen to what God wants for them. God told me, all right, pick up the phone and tell X, you ready? After all the running I did, I was making excuses and stuff like that. And when I was ready, he wasn't ready for me to buy the house then. He was ready for me just to take that necessary step. I didn't start looking for the house. Check this out. Till February. They called me and said, hey, we got something for you. Let's look at a house. February 15th, I got the letter of approval on my dad's birthday. March 15th, I closed.
All glory to God.
In a month.
Right. Right. And again, man, this is why I tell people stay proactive.
Right.
Right. Don't be reactive.
Right.
The average American reacts to their situation. Right. They get put in a certain situation. How do I get out of it now? Versus now I have the mindset of proactive. Like, how do I line up my ducks just in case if this was to happen?
Right.
You know what I mean? Matt said it during his presentation. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So I tell people all the time, you better have that great credit score. You know what I mean? And if you never have to use it, great. Wish you will have to use it. We know that. I mean, your car insurance uses that to rent a property before you even purchase a home.
They
right?
run your credit.
They're gonna do that. But I tell people, I had a client today. Same thing. We was talking. He told me he wanted to get started. Then he went MI on me. I was like, hey, it's fine. But I told him the same thing. Stay proactive. Because the day that you want to purchase that home and your wife is very excited about that home and they pull up that credit report, they're going to deny you, right? And as a husband, you might not have a good day with the wife, right?
Yeah.
So be proactive. Get all your ducks lined up. Let's make sure that credit score is right. So when you start looking at these homes and the wife says, hey, I really love this one, you guys can pull the trigger.
Yeah,
right?
there you go. Yeah.
So I'm glad you did take the action when you did, because a lot of people do like to prolong it. Then when they need it, they expect results right away. And you've seen it could take 30 to 90 days. Sometimes in your case, it could take longer.
Yeah.
Depending on the actual negative items and how many there are.
Definitely.
So,
and your program helped me a lot too. And I drafted up some questions that I wanted to ask you. And just like, why did you choose entrepreneurship instead of like the streets, knowing that you knew growing up, and why not settle in your own environment?
Man, I mean, that's a great question. And honestly, a lot of individuals need to hear this.
Yeah.
So coming from where I came from, obviously, it wasn't the prettiest side of town. And, a lot of times you had to rep something. Right. As a young kid, I got my head cracked open. I still have my scars cracked open. That's why I had the scar here. I got hit in the back of the head with a bat. They busted my lip as well. These are all different situations, So I faced death a couple times. And then what really, really changed my way of thinking and really wanted to get out that environment, even though my family had a lot of power. So it was easy for me to move around and get around, if you know what I mean. But I actually held my best friend while he was dying, and I was only 16 and he was 15. And I remember his mom walking up to me and saying, Xavier, what was Travis's last words? And I had to look at her and say, Miss Conley, I can't even remember. There was so much going on. And then a month later, my mom's house get raided. Obviously there's 4 boys in there. Thank God I do have a father. He's still in the picture. But the house got raided. They took one of my older brothers. He just turned 18. They gave him over 10-year sentence, first time in front of a judge, because of course, the position he played in the organization he was with. And obviously that they was watching him for over a year, but they was waiting for him to become an adult to be able to charge him a lot harder. And that's why they gave him 10 years right away. And then at the same time, I had 2 of my cousins get killed back to back for something that another one of my cousins did. They killed one of my cousins. A week later, they killed another one of my cousins. So within these 2 months, I had so much stuff going on that before, if I seen it, it was kind of normal to us, and we thought that was life.
Yeah.
But then when everything happened so much time, and I was that kid that I always used to think outside the box. I never wanted to gangbang. I just wanted to make money. Right. You always got the gangbangers, and then you got the money makers, right? The hustlers. I was more that hustler.
Yeah.
So I used to get on my bike and ride around and go to like the hills in Pennsylvania and like look at all these individuals with beautiful homes, and they're smiling, they're happy. And I'm asking myself, like, how do they have more than us, and how are they happier, right? Again, as a young kid, that's what you think, because money doesn't buy happiness. It's a good down payment.
Right, definitely. Yeah.
It's a good down payment.
Yeah, definitely.
But I started thinking outside the box. What is it that they're doing different than we are? And that's when I started learning financial literacy. And I remember as soon as I promised my mom I was going to graduate, I have 2 older brothers. Again, there's 4 of us, so I have a younger. Both of my older brothers never graduated. They went straight into prison. You know what I mean? So I promised my mom I'll be the first one to graduate. Did that. In that first week that I graduated, I moved to Florida, Tampa, Florida, by myself, no money in my pocket. Because I told my mom if I sit in that city, and the next year I would be in a box, I would be dead in a box, or I'd be serving time in a box. And my mom understood, and it was pretty hard for her because we're a very close-knit family. You already know how that rocks.
Yeah.
And I came down here, man. I came down here and I started seeing a whole different lifestyle, got myself some mentors, and really just started following every step, became very coachable. You know, I found people that had what I wanted and living the lifestyle that I want, and just like, yo, show me the game.
There you go.
And I stood dedicated to it. It was not easy.
Right.
Especially walking away from certain type of money.
Definitely, yeah. Fast money too.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I can understand too, because I left Long Beach, California to go into the Army. The Army saved my life because I saw nothing but drugs and guns and hustlers and all these things. My mom was, she was from Insane. My sister from Insane. I was gang banging. My mom she did drugs. She died of AIDS. So I saw a lot of turmoil, and I thought there was no way out. So I left one war to go into another war in the military, but the military saved my life, and it got me to a point to where I'm at today. Right. All the trials and tribulations, and I think it takes a lot of losing and a lot of negative things to make you who you are right now, because you have to see that. You have to go through it so you can glow through it.
100%. See, the thing is, bro, God does mysterious things, right? And it's like, when you're in the darkest days, you're asking him why. Why me? You know what I mean? Why am I going through this? Right. What did I do in my past that I'm paying for this? But then once you go past that pain, it's like exercises. Once you get past that pain, it's the growth, right? And I feel that we had to go through what we had to go through to be able to relate to our own peoples. Right. You know what I mean? You can't have a certain type of individual here talking to a certain crowd, tell them, hey, this is how you can become successful, because they're going to like, well, you have extra opportunities and we don't. But when you're on stage and I'm on stage, or we're sitting here talking and we're telling people like, nah, we've been there, we've done that. But look where we're at now. Yes. You could do the exact same thing. Right. So, again, I salute you, bro, because you could have easily went down the wrong path.
Definitely. You could have too. Yeah.
The same way I could have. But entrepreneurship, man, I tell people it's like if you're out pitching, if you're out serving, you got a product, you got to find your clientele. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then how do you outbeat the next person? Exactly. Right? Yeah. So I feel that a lot of us that come from the hood, bro, we're already entrepreneurs and CEOs.
It's what is it? Competition.
It's part of our DNA, bro.
Definitely.
Like it's survival mode. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I chose entrepreneur versus the streets.
Definitely. And that's why. Hello, my name is Dr. J.R. McIntyre. I'm a certified motivational speaker and a social media influencer, and I can't wait to teach you how to excel your real estate business on the LinkedIn platform. LinkedIn is actually the most underrated social media platform. In my class, Elevate Your Real Estate Success or LinkedIn Mastery, you will learn 3 key principles. Number 1, how to generate your high quality leads. Number 2, get personal branding and excellence. Number 3, strategic networking strategies. If you want to be a disruptor in the real estate industry, this class is definitely for you. I'll see you online, and I can't wait to take your LinkedIn profile to the next level. JR out. Boom. definitely. And that's why I chose it too, because it was like, okay, I'm a salesman already. I can sell whatever. And then once I started to go through my situation and God was like, speak life into yourself every day. Then I took it serious. Then I started to compete against these other motivational speakers. Then I'm like, oh, they can't hold a candle to me because this is my gift. I ain't playing.
Right.
I went through this. This is my life. This ain't like, oh, I'm gonna get on Instagram and drop a few. No, like people, if you don't know now, it's every day I try to drop something personal that has something to do with my life. You just happen to hear it.
Right.
And you happen to hear that conversation like a crazy man talking to himself. But I get so many emails of people telling me now how it's changing their lives. And that's why I do it, because I wanted to change my life and wanted God to use me as an instrument.
And that's important, man. Remember, man, in the last several years with social media only shows you the best highlights of everyone's life.
Right.
Like no one's going to put down that their bank accounts are negative right now, or they might have just lost a deal, or, you know what I mean? They can't afford to pay rent right now. Right. They're going to put everything else up, right? And I think it almost brainwashed some people to make it where like, if my life is not this perfect, then I'm not successful, or I haven't made it, or I will never made it. When you coming out and you're having these type of conversations, it's different because people are like, oh crap, like you don't got to be this perfect person. And, you know, this is something that is part of the process and you can't skip this, right? They always say, you know, the dream is free, but the hustle, there's a cost to it.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And I think a lot of people, they see the dream and it's free, but then they don't know the reality. They see the glory. They don't know the story.
They don't see the hard work, dedication.
So, you know, I it's very important to have those type of conversations.
You have to. And I think that we have to tell these kids that, hey, in order to be great, you have to fail. You have to learn that process. I don't think no one has made it to that point where it was just perfect. Nobody. No. Everybody has a story that we just don't, in our language, we don't tell it. Tell it. And that's why I go around and I tell it and I share and I continue to share and I continue to speak life, because not only is it changing their life, it's changing mine every day as I evolve. And I saw myself here 2 years ago. Yeah. I saw myself podcasting, speaking, all that stuff, which I was trying to step back from the limelight because I'm selfless service. I was doing security, you know, and you saw me, you met me, I was a janitor. I had just lost my company. And you brought me to church. You was like, hey, I want to bring you to the church. I was like, I'm good on church, you know. But thank God that you brought me to Crossover, you know, because at the end of the day, I was able to meet some awesome people, Pastor Tommy, that never gave up on me like you.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like I said, I think one day we need to have a talk just about that day.
Man.
Because like I said, what I seen in you and then what I seen your page and your resume, I'm like, what is this man doing here?
Right.
But I also understood that was part of God's plan.
Yeah.
Right.
It was.
And shout out to Crossover.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pastor Tommy.
Yeah.
I knew for a fact, because Real Recognize Real, that you would have felt comfortable in that environment.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just felt God led me to like bring my son back home.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And when God puts something in your heart, bro, it's just, you got to go do it.
You got to. You can't run from it.
And then I heard the story, you know, when you was telling that, you know, you was going through so much darkness that, you know, you no longer wanted to be here.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for Dr. V, I believe.
Yeah.
And just myself having a conversation with you, like, you might have not, today might have not been happening.
Exactly.
Right? And I think people need to know that too, because it's crazy. I have met a good amount of people that been in that situation. A good friend of mine's, Chris, aka Local, same thing, just 2 years ago. You know, I first met him, motivated him, and I known that he was in a very dark place in his life, and he was actually about to commit suicide that day. Until we had a meeting, and then he told me later on. And you're talking about a man that got, his nickname is Local for a reason. Yeah. And you know where we come from, you just can't make up a name. Right. They give you a name. Right. But to see a grown man break down and cry in front of me, like, it does stuff to me. Right. You know, and I always tell God, leverage me and use me as a tool. Right. To do your work. And bro, there's so many stories I could tell you that if it wasn't for God, people would not been around. Because he basically just told me, go talk to that person. Right. Take them here or show them this. And I'm grateful for that, man.
And I'm grateful for you. And you know, we used to see each other all the time in the gym, but never spoke. It was like, you know, a mutual, what's up, what's going on, you know? And God was like, today's the day, you know, and we spoke to each other. And then you went to go work out. And then you came back. You was like, wait, show me that again. And so I showed you my page. You was like, no, you need to meet me here at this time. Come here. So I was like, I'm coming. I think I am. And then God was like, just go. And so I went, and here we are right now.
Yeah, because, man, look, I say this in a humble way. I've been in so many different rooms around some high caliber people, so I don't get impressed too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not one of those fanatic type persons neither, right? But all due respect to everyone, you know what I mean? But when I seen your energy, felt the energy, and then seen the resume, I'm like, I was impressed.
Right.
And I don't get impressed too often.
Right.
That's why I'm like, nah, you have
Got to come here, yeah.
And look what you're doing now, bro. Like, you are motivating me now. You're inspiring me. I told you that the other day, bro. Like, bro, I started going down a dark path, but then I seen how you was moving. I'm like, man, this man beat that dark path.
Right.
And look what he's creating. Like, I could beat this dark path.
Right.
And look what I'm creating.
Right.
And then look what we're creating.
Look what we're creating, yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, again, all God's work.
Right, and it gives you chills because it's like, you know, we talking about that path, and then we talk about like a routine and your successful habit. What is that? What does that look like for you?
Man, first thing is dedication, right? You have to be dedicated. So when it comes to habits, I think it's all a mental thing, right? So I think everyone needs to start like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing this? And I said this, and I'll say over and over, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough, right? Because it's not going to be an easy path, right? And I just felt that my why is my mother, my father, who I've seen both of them struggle their entire life just to put food on the table, and I'm very appreciative for that. And I told them since a young age, I will retire you guys and I will buy you a home. And my son, you know, I became a teenage father, you know, so I was a baby having a baby. And with those three people in my life, I'm like, I have to do everything and anything to make sure that I deliver to them. And I have to make sure my son doesn't see what I seen growing up. Right. And I wanted to break that curse. So I told myself, my goal is I have to go ahead and make sure my son lives in a good neighborhood and my parents are retired. So that was my why. Then it's like, okay, that's my why, but what are steps I need to take? I got to get up early. I got to stop watching TV. Bro, I can't remember last time I seen like any TV shows. People talk about sports games. They talk about this TV show. They talk about fights. And I'm like, man, I didn't even know about that. They're like, how, X? I'm like, bro, anyone that knows me, come in my house and my TV will be just like that. Big screen TV in every single room, but they're all turned off. I don't waste any time. So I tell myself, my habits and my schedule is, if it's not helping me spiritually, mentally, physically, or financially, it can't be on my schedule, right? So good habits are, I hate to read, but I'm a great listener. So I listen to books. You know what I mean? Another thing is, first thing in the morning, and talk to God. Talk to God. Like, don't look at no bank accounts. Don't look at no social media. Don't look at no text messages. Nothing at all. I always open up my Bible. And I'm like, God, what is it that you want me to read today? And I do that. That's the first thing. I tell people, once I started doing that, deals just started falling on my laps. Versus I used to wake up and had a habit of, all right, let me check my emails. Who can I follow up with? How can I make this money real quick before noon? Like, and I was struggling. I put God first. Everything started falling in place. And then, like I said, fill up your schedule. A full schedule equals a full paycheck. An empty schedule equals an empty paycheck. And self-motivate. You know what I mean? Just self-motivation and self-development. So, and you can find them anywhere. Follow you for that.
And you have to, you know, you have to listen. You know, God been telling you this. So you just started to listen and put it all in perspective. And that's good, because I saw you, you know what I'm saying, doing that and not knowing that you were going through that time. But now look at the situation now. People want more of what we did Saturday. And that makes me feel good, because that was my dream, is to give the people what they needed, not what they want.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the society needs. They need to see young entrepreneurs that hit the bottom and coming back up, is on fire, love God and tell their stories and give back. That's why I did it for free. And the next one is free, and the next one in November, December is free because I'm giving back.
Right.
You know, eventually I will have to charge because it's going to grow so big. But at the end of the day, we're not giving you Mickey Mouse. We give you top caliber people. Dr. Z, Dr. V, Cottrell. We got Matt. We had a bunch of people in the building telling their story. Alex Harris. And giving it to you at a high volume in a professional taste that it's like people was looking at me like, this was free. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's how would I say, it's our mission, bro. And like how you said, man, every speaker that you had up there normally will easily charge.
Yes.
We're talking about thousands.
Yes.
Right. But everyone had the same heart and the same mission because of your vision.
Right.
Hey guys, I had this vision. I think we can make this happen. We're like, hey, we're rocking with it.
Yeah.
And then when it happened, we're like, JR, this is why you did it. Right. Because we was just there to, yo, we got you. You one of the homies, we got you.
Yeah.
Say the word, we there.
Yeah.
But even your uncle, I had a conversation with him. I was just talking to him earlier today.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? Like the relationships that I built out of there. You know what I mean? Meeting your father.
Yeah.
Amazing. You know what I mean? Stand up dude.
Yeah.
I can understand why you the way you are. You know what I mean? And salute to him because coming from hoods, like how many fathers are really in a household?
Not a lot.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, bro, all this is God's plan and all this is a vision that you already had, and God gives a man a vision.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm just part of it. So I'm blessed just to be part of the vision.
Oh, definitely, man. We're about to come back August 24th, you know, and give it back to them. And this is what we're going to keep doing it all the way from Shake the Room 1 to 50. People are going to hear this story, and and all the original people is going to always be a part of the panel. Always.
That's going to be lovely, man, because people need to hear the stories. Like, even me, you know, coming from a poor family to be able to be a millionaire, but then losing it all, you know what I mean, to rebuilding it back up, you know what I mean? Like, people need to hear that. So I think that is going to be very impactful, not in the nation level, but like how you said, international level.
International.
And again, God knows when you have his faith, when you have your faith in God, you have the right to say this, where this is going to be so big, it's international. Because my faith is in God, and God told me everything and anything is possible.
Everything, yes.
And with his supernatural powers, like, who's going to stop this?
I could do all things.
Who's going to stop this?
Yes, nobody. This is it. And Pastor Tommy came and told me, he said, this was like awesome. So many people gave positive insights on, they didn't expect it would to be like this. And I wanted to be, even down to the programs. You know, I was very precise and detailed how I was going to do it, even with my team, how we handled it, the production, all the way down from the minute stuff to the big stuff. Even me, when I speak, I threw in all layers of that because I want to give a production. I want people to leave like, oh man, this was awesome. Like something like the Rise Con, but we're the little miniature version. So Rise Con, you guys better beware. I'm coming for you.
Yeah, they better be on the lookout for sure.
They are, yeah. You want to have these type of speakers with them. You know, people always, they want to see the celebrities. What about the people that have the stories that's coming up to do the same thing?
Right. And again, you know, coming from where we come from, you got to be a ball player or you got to be a rapper, a R&B singer, you know what I mean, a dancer to make it.
Movie star.
Right.
Yeah.
We're like, nah.
No, you don't.
We're
right
just
here.
as famous.
Yeah.
Or if not more famous.
Way more, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just because of the value that we're bringing.
Right. And it's good because the kids need to see that.
All day.
Like, the youth need to hear about the credit.
Oh,
they need that.
Bro, look, it's crazy. Like I said, man, what I love about being an entrepreneur, I'm me. I don't switch up. I don't change. And I love showing, you know, the youth, like, yo, you guys, I feel like I'm still young. You know what I mean? I'm 39 years old. I feel like I'm so young. And I come from a hood. I'm gonna be fresh to death all day.
Always.
So you always hear, oh, wealthy people don't wear designer belts. Hey, cool for them.
Yes.
But a lot of them are nerds. They don't have swag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We got swag
Hey,
too,
we got
yeah.
swag.
This
So
is it,
if I got the money, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm not gonna live on my budget outside of my means.
Right.
But I'm gonna make it happen. But I want to show the kids that.
Yeah.
Yo, y'all
Because
want
they
to
gravitate to that.
Correct. Y'all want to pull up in a 6-figure car?
Yeah.
We got you. You want
Yeah.
to pull up with the Rollie? We got you. You want to
Yeah.
pull out with the ice? We got you.
As long as you work hard.
Correct. You want to have designer? We got you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You don't have to go out and sell drugs. You don't have to go out there and get banged. You don't have to be a pimp.
Right.
You don't have to be a stick-up boy.
Right.
Like, let's make you a professional.
Right.
And still target your own peoples.
Right. And step into that new avatar that God wants you. Like, you are it. And that's what I wanted to tell you. Like, never shy away from that no more. I saw you shine. I'm like, why? Like, you are X. It's only you, one of a kind. Don't shy away from that. Keep it going, because at the end of the day, you are inspiring other people that see you. And I used to shy away from that because it's like I wanted to put so many people on. I'm good. I'm gonna write the background. I'm an introvert. No, God was like, it's your time.
Yeah.
Main character. And that's what happened on Saturday. I wanted to show people like, no, like what you thought you knew, you don't know this JR. And I hide that because it makes people feel inadequate. Because if you're not on that same energy level like us, we was all cool.
Right.
But some people be like, oh, you're doing too much. You're not doing enough.
Man, look, I'm going to tell you one thing. What I have learned. People always want to see you do good.
Yes.
Just not better
than them. Yeah, definitely.
So, you know what I mean? So that's something that, people just know that, man. People want to see you do good.
Yeah.
They just don't want you to see
better than them.
They just don't want to see you do better than them.
Yep.
But again, that's what, to me, is motivation. To me, is showing them like, hey, you know what? At the end of the day,
Right.
This is God's work. You can't be mad at God's work. Keep doing you, bro.
This is what it is.
And it's funny because I promise you, just earlier today, I was having the same conversation with someone, and they was having a problem, and I told them, hey, just keep that in mind.
Right.
They want to see you do good.
Yeah.
They just don't want to see you do better, because
Exactly.
now you're moving on up. They're treating you different. They're not giving you as much love.
Right.
But it's okay. Don't slow it down.
No, don't. This is you. And I noticed too, and I told a conversation that I had that, hey, when you start to walk in God's path, be prepared to lose people in your life because you passed them up and they don't even know how to even address it. They can't say good job because it makes them feel lesser than. So it's like you lose them. When I started to speak every day and get traction in my following went from 30 to 200 some thousand, I thought, well, people be happy for me. Nah, they're not. People thought I was buying. Like, no, this is, I'm literally touching. I just got off the No Jumper podcast. Who does that? I'm not a rapper.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a positive influence in the community. And at the end of the day, this is who I am. That's about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's what you are. And I wanted to share the stage with you because I told you one day I want to share the stage with you. And we did it, and we're going to keep going. And I guarantee you people are going to come and knock on the door either to try to either buy it from us or put us into a position to where we had Emily. 10,000 people.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what it is, because I'm not no regular motivational speaker. I will tell you the product. I'm a production manager, and I want to show you who I am as a life coach, motivational speaker, and a business consultant, and tell the kids you could do this too.
All day.
Just like you.
All day.
Yeah.
All
And,
day.
I want to ask you one more last question too. Like, what was one of your biggest accomplishments and always had like your personal goals?
Man, when it comes to personal goals, biggest accomplishment, I mentioned it earlier, my why.
Yeah.
My mom, my dad, and my son, right? So I promised my mom when I was 12 years old that I would buy her a home. Coming where we came from, you don't never hear about home ownership. If anything, you're renting, right? And thank God, 3 years ago, I retired my father and my mother. 5 years ago, I purchased them a home, beautiful home, here in Florida.
Oh, wow.
And both of their cars are paid off.
Look at that.
And my dad's been mortgage free for about 5 years now.
Look at that.
And they're both retired. So my biggest accomplishment, besides my son, who's 19 years old now, and I'm very proud of the young man that he is, in the way he moves and carries himself, my biggest accomplishment was keeping my word to my mom, which was graduating, getting out the city that we was in, retiring them, purchasing them a home.
There you go. And you knocked it out. and you still going. And that's that's a sports player or a rapper that or someone in the industry that would do that. You're just not. We're just regular guys, and we want to see our family win. And that was me getting my sister from living underneath a bridge, and bringing her to when I bought my home. I gave it to like this is our home. You don't have to go nowhere. That makes me feel good.
Bro, I'm telling you, when you see the smile on somebody else's face, that's my reward.
Yeah.
That's my reward.
That's
So
it.
people are like, oh, sometimes you express love by items. It's not that.
Yeah.
I express my love by seeing your emotions.
Exactly.
Like, I want to make you happy. I want to make you smile. I want to make your life easier.
And you're genuine with it.
Oh, all day.
Genuine. Because you used to follow up with me with the credit. I can't wait to start round 2 because I got more things that I want to clear out, more things I want to do, and more things that when I made mistakes as a young, financially, get it out the way. Because I know God's about to have so much more blessings for me. I can't wait to walk into that season because my tithing go up. I tithe. And I know that I've been offered money for 3 paid gigs. I got 3 paid gigs already booked this year.
Nice.
And God said it's going to be coming more. So I have to be able to receive it and tithe and be able to say, this is your season now, JR.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
this is it.
And it's funny. I kind of want to go back a little bit, right? Because I feel when God knows something is genuine from the heart, you never lose it.
Right.
Right. And we have lost a lot. Mm-hmm. You and myself have lost a lot, right? But one thing that I want to throw in here, because I have to give glory to God for this one. When I was going through what I was going through, and I went from a millionaire to a 6-figure earner, which is a big difference because it's 10 times less.
Yeah.
But I'm still blessed because God still made me make sure I made these 6 figures. Yeah. But the reason why is because I told God, whatever you're going to put me through, I'm going to rock with it. The only thing I asked you to do is during this time, make sure that I can still afford my parents' mortgage. And to this day, God never failed me, bro.
There you go.
God never have failed me. I had to throw that in there, give him glory for that. Because somebody, I don't know why, someone had to hear that part.
Right, definitely.
Where it's like, you know what? God might be putting through some stuff, but I promise you, if you tell him, hey, I just want you to look out on this end and you know my heart's really there,
right.
I promise he'll come through for you.
There you go.
So I had to throw that in there.
No, I mean, when I was going through my thing, my dad told me to say this simple prayer every day, and I said it for 2 years. God, enlarge my territory. Enlarge my territory. And now look what we have. Look at the possibilities, the endless possibilities. And I want to tell you, thank you for coming on, and thank you for being patient. And entrepreneurs, kids, like we are here at midnight. Midnight. We have day jobs. We have family members. We're here at midnight doing this for you guys because we know the seeds that we plant today and this year is going to be sprouted next year. I wanted to go and reach out and tell people about your page. So can you tell them who you are and what you do again and how to find you?
Yeah, so Xavier Marrero, I specialize on credit repair, credit building, also helping you get business funding and giving you a business plan. And then you can find me on Instagram at Real Xavier Marrero. So the word real, REAL, XAVIER, MARRERO.
There you go.
It has a blue check mark. Trust me, that's my only page. If they try to hit you up about Bitcoin, it's not me.
Thank you, X, for coming on. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for not only taking care of my credit, loving on me, making sure I'm okay, being genuine with it. And, from one heart to another, man, I love you. I care for you. God got us both. We got some amazing things coming. August 24th is Shake Your Room Part 2. Be ready because you're going to have a lot more people that's going to be there for you. Our fan base is building. I get tons of DMs about when the ticket's going to go on, and I can't wait. I'm giving myself a month off because RH2G, we don't just put on clinics. I am a licensed coach, motivational speaker, manager, and I have a day job. So I have to be able to transition all that in a good balance. So thank you again. for coming, and thank you for Are You Serious for podcast for just bringing us on and letting me put my RS2G spin on this. And thank you again, man. Do you have anything to tell the kids before we leave?
Hey, man. First of all, thank you. All glory to God as well. And man, like I said, not only just to kids, to adults, never give up. Always have a reason why you're pushing so hard. Never forget that reason, which is your why. And guys, look, anything is possible. If JR can make it through his situation, if I can make it through my situation, I know for a fact you can as well. And it's okay as men, coming where we come from, to speak about what we went through. And also it's okay to tell another grown man, I love you too, because it's genuine. And we come from a certain background where it's like you have to be so hardcore to survive, because I understand you show your goldfish, these sharks will eat you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's okay to be a shark and still have that goldfish heart to help other people as well.
Definitely.
So go out there, go get it. You guys already know, relentless. Let's get it.
You guys heard it there. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you. You guys know me. I can't wait to see you guys August 24th, Shake the Room Part 2 at Crossover Church. Now we have 8 speakers, and I wouldn't miss it for you guys. If I was you, I would just set my calendars right now and tell everybody, hey, August 24th, we're going to be there. No excuses. It is a free event. Only VIP is paid for. So get there, get your tickets. It's 600 capacity. I can't wait to see you guys there. Thank you again. Thank you. I appreciate you, X. Thank you.
So, man, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
a capsule.
Yeah, man.